Agent Baumgartner reporting for duty as requested. The time is 2300 hours and I am currently situated in a small village north of Pyongyang, the name of which I will not say. My cover is still intact and the police don't seem to be very interested in me at all, but I worry I may have to relocate or leave the country if they run a check on my papers. Subject of report, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. I'll say my concluding thoughts now for fear of being interrupted. North Korea is a single-party state in every sense of the word. The Kim regime is the sole political power in North Korea. There are no attempts to masquerade the country as democratic to the people or to the outside. No one may leave the nation, short of diplomats and officials, and all media from the outside world is heavily censored or not allowed. Most of North Korea is too impoverished to have access to the internet or television, but the security measures are still in place for the few elites in Pyongyang. A constant stream of Kim-related propaganda comes from every available media outlet. Everything I've gotten my hands on, from newspapers to children's books, is filled with state appraisals. The most common thing I've observed is stories about the mythical qualities of the supreme leader. When Kim Jong-il died in December of 2011, officials spoke of various supernatural phenomena that were supposed signs of the former leader's divine qualities. The same will no doubt happen when Kim Jong-un dies, if they even make it public when he dies. North Korea follows a series of teachings called Juche. Juche, meaning self-reliance, is seen being put into practice by the DPRK in their secretive nature and frequent nuclear projects. The Juche ideology lends itself to a place described as the Hermit Kingdom, as it is a set of principles for attaining a fully sustainable nation, bereft of the need of help from the international community. The famine that took place from 1994 to 1998 can be attributed to policies stemming from this self-reliance, as well as a reluctance to reach out to the international community. Religion is not at all tolerated in North Korea. Scripture or even knowledge of religion is uncommon among the locals, and there seems to not be a lot of desire for it. The propaganda ministry of the DPRK, officially the Publicity and Information Department, goes to great lengths to ensure that the North Korean masses have a very specific perception of the outside world. Interviews with locals suggest that most people are aware that, for example, the reports of a flourishing crop season are lies, but you have to accept the word of state as fact, even if it's obviously false. Just as important as what is said to the people is what is not as said to the people. For example, mentioning the assassination of Kim Jong-un's older brother, Kim Jong-nam, is grounds for detainment. In fact, any negative comments about the party or its actions are punished harshly. In fact, anti-socialist action is grounds for public execution. Hoarding food, disrespecting current or past leaders, stealing state-owned property, and rousing the suspicions of your neighbors are all crimes worthy of execution. If a criminal is not executed, they'll likely be tortured to extract confessions. Locals describe forced starvations, beatings with iron rods, sleep deprivation, and sexual violence as commonplace. There are also the labor camps to consider. North Korea outsources its labor to various countries, mostly to Siberian logging camps. The conditions in these camps are unsanitary and unlivable. Soldiers I've interviewed describe prisoners drinking from mud puddles and eating maggots in order to survive. The given rations are 180 grams of rice every other day. Prisoners are often worked to death, and collective punishment comes frequently. What's most troubling about these camps is the entry requirements they have. To apply for a North Korean labor camp, you have to be physically fit, have a history of total obedience and devotion to the party, and you must be married with children. The family would be then used as hostages to deter escape attempts. This is also why it's policy for North Korean diplomats to leave their families at home. Okay, there are soldiers sweeping through the area, so I need to